A couple has just been sentenced to prison for the murder of a 2-year-old toddler. Now, the toddler is Isabella Wheeldon, 2-year-old poor little toddler who's been murdered by Scott Jeff and Chelsea Gleason Mitchell. Two despicable fucking creatures. Two horrible, horrible maggots. Now look at his face there. Now that is Scott Jeff. He has been found guilty of the murder of Isabella and sentenced to life in prison with a recommendation that he served 26 years. Now, Chelsea was actually acquitted of the murder, but she was jailed for 10 years for allowing the death of a child. Now, she should have been sentenced to life imprisonment as well, in my own opinion, because she let this happen. Now, Scott Jeff had only just come back into Chelsea's life, and he'd only been with her for 36 days before the 2-year-old toddler was murdered. And in the weeks leading up to the murder of Isabella, she had sustained catastrophic injuries from this little rat. Now look at the face on him. Look at him. He's just a weak, small little man who has done this to this poor, defenseless toddler. He's only been back in her life for 36 days. And from the moment he stepped foot back into her life, he began beating and tormenting this poor little toddler. Now look at little Isabella there. What a beautiful little toddler she is. Her life has been took away by this despicable little maggot. Now the court heard Isabella's injuries were consistent with high-velocity traffic accidents or kicked by a horse. Now imagine the force that he must have been beaten and stamping on that poor little toddler with. The toddler, who had traces of cocaine and cannabis in her system, died from a bone marrow embolism as a consequence of skeletal trauma. But just half an hour after the murder, they were seen on CCTV laughing and joking as they were on their way to a pub to get off their heads. They were planning on leaving the country. They were seeing how they could get out of the country without a passport. They were looking for other places to go. And it was her friend Joanna Gardner who actually alerted the police, because Chelsea had actually messaged her saying her daughter had been dead for 3 days, but she was scared to go to the authorities in case she got blamed for the death. The High Court judge, Mr. Justice Neil Garnham, described Gleason Mitchell as a weak and spineless person and pathetically desperate. She was that desperate she allowed the death of her child just so she could be with that maggot of a partner of hers. But he has been lifed off with a minimum of 26 years.